welcome to Setting Your Stage Spotlight Series. I am so excited to introduce to you all one of the amazing part of the cohort of 2024, 2025, Miss Rashaunna Campbell. A little commotion for Rashaunna. If you're out in the community, put up your commotion fingers and give it to her. I'm Rashaunna. I am just really excited to connect with you.
Yes,
We have been through a whole journey,
we
and
have.
it's like we've got to put this on the camera space, into the camera ether, so that the people can see and know what has happened and all of the good stuff. And we're going to save it for the end, but I'm excited to share with you all the results,
Yes.
learnings, all of the like things we went through together this year.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
it
So
was. Yeah.
So let's just meet you first, Rashaunna. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how the acting bug bit you. Just talk a little bit. Introduce yourself.
Yes. So, Rashaunna Campbell. I'm Jamaican born, New York raised.
Okay, community, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead. Okay.
I've always been in like performing arts growing up. Always been drawn to like storytelling as a kid, but it wasn't until college when I took an acting for non-majors class,
Okay.
and I guess the professor saw something and he told me to audition for the show that he was directing that year. I did and instantly caught the bug, and
Okay.
I've been hooked since.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And so before you did acting in college, were you active as a younger person, or was this like kind of a little bit later in your life?
Yeah, acting was later on
Yeah.
in my life. Earlier on as a kid, it was more music, dance that I did, like
Mhm.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, good, good. And I just say that because I think sometimes people think like you have to be acting since you were 2 years old and you've always, you've had to have seen it since you were in kindergarten, but that's not the case. It
yeah,
can put you at any point.
yeah,
So that's really good. Okay, amazing. So Rashaunna, talk to us about where you were in your artistic journey, your professional journey before you started coaching this year with Setting Your Stage.
yeah. So before coaching with Setting Your Stage, I was wrapping up an artist residency at the Flea Theater in Tribeca, where I was able to actually get my first experience on stage in front of a live audience, and work with an ensemble. And it was an amazing time, and I think really allowed me to grow as an artist.
Amazing. So Rashawn and I actually met in a different capacity. We met through another coaching program and we stayed connected. I always was checking on her. And I'm curious, I would love for you to share the community. How long have you been pursuing the audition, inside of the audition journey? How long has it been? Because I think that's really important to share with
Yeah.
the community.
Yeah. So it was since 2020 when I graduated undergrad. Yeah.
Okay.
And things were shut down. So there was things were up in the air in terms of like, will there be an audition season? Won't there be? And so I just used that whole time of like the COVID pandemic time to just work on gaining the vocabulary, gaining the tools that I need, and figuring out who I was as an actor and as an artist and how to approach these pieces, these texts. Yeah.
Okay, so that's super important, y'all. Like, I think just for the community to hear, sometimes it's a one-stop shop. You do it one summer and we're there. And then sometimes it is a journey, like going across time. And
Yeah.
for you, this is a long time coming. That's why I'm so excited to share this journey because it has been a long time coming
Yeah.
for everything. So good. So thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about why do you think it's important to have coaching? Because I think a lot of people jump into it. They're like, oh, I can do it. But talk to me about for you, why was it important to seek coaching and seek coaching with setting your stage?
Yeah. Well, I think uh, for auditioning specifically, it's very different than when you do a show. It's
I,
very different. The actually the material itself, you don't have someone to feedback off of, so you have to create that world that the scene is in, and you have to curate it to yourself. They don't want to see you imitate someone you saw do the piece. They want to see you and your interpolation of the piece.
Yeah.
And so in getting coaching, I would say coaching is a very intimate thing that allows you to come face to face with a lot of the um, artistic blocks you may have that you're unaware of, and allow those things to crack open and allow you to, what's the word? It allows you to be vulnerable and to push past those limits that you may have and sit in that uncomfortability that in turn will only make you a better artist.
Okay, so I love that you said. So let's talk about it. So let's just, I mean, you brought it up. So let's talk about it. What were some of the things you bumped up against, or maybe some of the challenges, or because you and I were working. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm looking dead in the camera at the community and letting you know, Rashawn and I were working.
yeah.
Okay, we were pushing past some things. So please, as much as you feel comfortable, share some of the things that you felt like you bumped up against, some of the things you wanted to work through with coaching, with your pieces, etc.
Yeah. Um, well, I think which was really great about this go around was that um, the coming to head with a lot of the blockages I had, which was around vulnerability and taking up space and um, vocal energy and just being like taking up the spotlight, you know? And with doing that, you're forced to like question like, but like why am I scared to push past this? Like why am I scared to like really go there? And through like analyzing the text and creating that world for yourself and putting yourself in it, you're able to have that emotional tether to the words that you're saying
Mhm.
and be able to present the work in the most truthful way that you can, the most authentic way, and not seeing vulnerability as a weakness, but it's actually like your greatest tool that you have because
Absolutely.
it allows people to connect to you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I will say Rashauna really did. That was one of our big things is her stepping into, like you said, taking up space.
Yeah.
These people want to see you step into a room and go, I'm not scared. And even if you are scared, do it in a way that's like showing you. And it was so funny that at the beginning of our process, Rashauna was a little more close to the chest and everything. By the end of this process, people were like, "You're doing too much. Bring it back." And
Yeah.
we were like, "What? Not
Yeah.
Campbell. Campbell doing too much." So that was really exciting, right? Like that was
Yeah.
so exciting for me to hear that the people were like, "Wow, I love how big you are. Now let's try it small." And for a teacher or coach to go, it warms your heart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the people started going, I love how big that is. Let's try it small, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try it in a more intimate way. So, yeah, so I think a part of what's great about coaching is you have somebody that can see you outside and see the things that maybe you can see about yourself. Did you ever consider yourself not big or like a person who maybe kept it close to the chest?
Yeah, I think just in my personal life, I'm very like reserved.
Hmm.
Um, and so it when now you're doing a thing that's like, oh, you have to do the complete opposite of that, it can be very scary.
Yeah.
But a lot of magic happens when you like go past that and like push past the fear that you have. And you're able to see another side of yourself, you know? So,
And
yeah.
that's really exciting. Thank you for sharing that, Rashauna. So I really want to highlight, I'm again looking directly at the community. Rashauna is one of the students that I think did really the most perfect way to me that you can do when you're approaching auditioning if you are open to all possibilities for schools for location in the world. So can you just give the community a kind of just a little blueprint of how you approached auditioning this year, how you set up your auditions, how you made choices around what you chose to do, because I think that's really important for people to know when approaching the audition process.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So this time around, I've, as you're saying, I stayed very open in my school choices, and just in the way that I viewed the audition process. I think previous audition cycles, I was like pigeonholed by the ideas around drama, like school auditions and like where you should apply, how you should dress, and don't talk to anyone, got to stay in the zone. And that I feel like created a lot of unnecessary stress and nervousness around the situation instead of, whereas this year I was like, let's just have fun,
Okay.
right? I found these pieces. They're amazing. I love the choices that I've made for them, and like I want to share them, right? And be open to meeting new people and just like showing off the work that you've done. You've worked months on these pieces. Like I shouldn't be nervous about showing them, right? So, um, and that for me changed this whole like process,
Yeah.
for me. In terms of schools, how I said this, the places that I did audition, I first did ERDA's, and ERDA's is a very unique auditioning experience. But you're able to connect with a lot of people, and
Those who
as
don't know what
yeah.
ERTAs are, can you just give just a very quick blurb about what it is? Just if anybody has never heard ERTA, URTA, ERTAs.
Yeah. So ERDA's is it's kind of like an audition conference where schools from all across the world will come to this one central location, and you get 2 minutes to do anything you want to do. You could do two pieces, you could do a piece in a song, a dance if you want. And you get your 2 minutes, you do your pieces or whatever you come to present, and then that's it. And then you wait to hear back to see who wants to have a call back with you afterwards. Yeah.
And just to let the community know as we continue, how many callbacks did you get from ERTAs?
Ooh, Erda's, I believe it was like 17 or 20, like to 20 or something like
Okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
Rashaunna was, she was working, okay? Like the people called our girl back, okay?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share, like the ERTAs is a really good tool to get yourself out there, be seen by a lot of different people. And like you said, the possibilities, the open possibility is really exciting. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get to know about a lot of schools that have full rides. They're fully funded. And so and it's schools that aren't necessarily propped up in the same way that the Juilliards and the Yales are in
Mhm.
terms of like buzz around drama schools.
Right. But
Um,
still great schools.
yeah. And a
Mhm.
lot of people that work at those schools have gone there and or teached at those other
Oh,
institutions.
absolutely. Talk about it. Okay, great. So outside of the ERTAs, what other schools, how did you choose?
Yeah, so I did NYU because last year I made it to final callback weekend for them. I did Columbia just because they had finally done auditions in New York
Yes.
this year.
Shout out
So
to Columbia for getting the New York auditions going. Yes.
yeah, and I did Yale and Juilliard for like the bigger schools that are, those are the usual ones that people audition for. So I did those, and um, I did those all in January, and I did them a week apart from each other, just to allow myself space to make tweaks or to freshen up stuff based on how I felt during the audition process, and things that I liked or things that I noticed or that I caught myself doing while in the audition, that I wanted to tweak and dig a little deeper into and stuff like that. And then for February, I saved those for a lot of the abroad schools. So RADA, Lambda, RCS. Yeah, I save those for later on. Yeah.
Yes. And traditionally, UK schools do their audition process a little later
Yeah.
anyway. So there was a nice spread. And after every audition, I'd get the text. Hey, and then
Yeah.
Rashawn and I would do like a 30 to 45-minute debrief on, okay, what went well? How'd you feel? You know, what new information? That's a big thing with the coaching is a big question I always ask is what did we learn? What's the new information? So we would do a debrief, and because Rashauna was doing so well, you know, response to everything, the callbacks and everything, we were just for a minute, it was every other we had about 100 calls. It was like, well,
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because it was callback after callback after callback after callback, which again was so exciting, especially after all of the amazing work that you've done and the time you've committed to this. So that was such an exciting moment in time
Yes.
for that. So good. Okay, so thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. And again, I just want y'all to hear unless you are just really like, I want to go to this school or that school, Rashawn is really sharing a flexibility, an openness to the possibility because you don't know. You know, some of these schools only take 15 to 18 people a year. So it's good to be open if you want to do this.
Yeah.
And again, we'll share where Rashauna is going to be attending at the end of this interview, this spotlight. But I just think that that's such a good way to approach auditioning and approach the season if you are open to the possibility. If you're open to the possibility. Okay, so amazing, Rashauna. Thank you again for sharing all of that good information. So let's talk really quickly, or maybe not quickly, about our specific coaching together. Setting your stage is a full service coaching package. Rashauna got the package that was from the Ruta to the tutor. And for
Yeah.
those who don't know what that means from the beginning of the process all the way to the last moment of whatever your process is. So let's just talk about that. A part of setting your stage, we got together and we chose the monologue. So talk
Yes.
about how you felt about monologue choice this year, what came up with that.
Yeah. Oh, that was, I think the monologue process this year is the easiest in terms of like once the four was solidified, it didn't change.
Yeah.
And I loved them from start to end. Like it was the perfect mixture of everything
It was
needed.
literally perfect,
Yeah.
Rashauna.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Can you share, if you can remember, because now sometimes you like do it and you just flush it out of your system,
Yeah.
but can you just share the pieces that you did this year?
Yes. So I did Black Mary from The Gem of the Ocean by August Wilson, Cleopatra from Antony and Cleopatra, Act One, Scene Five,
Okay.
Isabella from Measure for Measure, Act Five, Scene One, and I did Justina from Flowers of East Orange by Stephen Adly Gurgis.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And these pieces, y'all, we sat down, we read through a few, you know,
Yeah.
the way if you get the full service with setting your stage, we actually, before we even start coaching, we have 4 sessions where we go through and we read through pieces, we make sure they fit. And a big question I like to ask is how what's sparking up is in you? Is it, you know, is the fire lighting,
Yeah.
right? And we were blessed in Lashana's process because these pieces really were just, I call it a compass, but a north, south, east, and west of Rashana. And she didn't change them.
No.
Now, some people talking straight to the community. Some people, that's not everybody's experience. Sometimes you actually get it and then you start going, okay, this isn't working, or I've outgrown this one. Let's switch to it. But we were super blessed in this process that we stuck with the four and the four took us to the end.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, the four took us to the end. Amazing. Now, Rashana, share with the people what is coaching like with me specifically. And then we'll talk about we had some in person, we did a mock audition We did some Zoom mock auditions. So just talk about, share
Yeah.
with the community, what is coaching with me like? Coaching.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Laughs, jokes. It's good, but it's still it's encouraging, it's warm, it's you challenge me and push me because you know I can go further. You know I can dig deeper. But you do it with care. And so you create an environment that's very safe and um, no judgment free, right? So we can there's space to explore and to do something that's real crazy, real wonky. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, all right, let's take another direction. But yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely transformed the way that I approach my craft, and the way that me as a person as well. Like it's very, yeah, all around and like generally it's an amazing like process working
Oh,
with you. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad about that, Rashaunna. Thank you for sharing that and sharing that with the community. Yeah, we were. Now, we was having fun. We talked a lot about Beyonce.
Yes.
Okay, because there's a fan in the room. But when it was time to work, we were putting our feet to the beat, were we
Yeah.
not? Okay.
Yes, definitely.
And I just appreciate how you always came ready to work. You came in and you were like, okay, let's do it, you know? And then
Yes.
sometimes we took a break, and then sometimes we had to calibrate, all of those things, but you 100% always came ready to work. Can you talk a little bit about our in-person mock audition? Because that is
Yeah.
something that every
The
year we do in-person mocks. You can get the experience of the day. So talk
yeah,
about that.
that was a whirlwind. Um, I think it was really good because it was the first time anyone outside of you seeing the pieces and seeing me do the pieces. And so I think that allowed me to turn up the gear
Yeah,
with the feedback that I got from the mock auditioners of just like really exist in the piece, like really like go there. If
yeah.
you're gonna go there, go there.
And then
Don't
let me say too, because I didn't say this actually at the top. The in-person mock audition, just really quickly, is where I get qualified different people, not me, and we do an entire like a mock audition. So I rent a studio, I bring in very qualified auditioners that are not me. All I do is bring the people in and out of the room, and you have a whirlwind of these beautiful graduates of these schools, working actors who take you through it. And we do a callback. We do a callback process. We do a warm up so you really feel it. And how long was that day, Rashawn? I think it was 3.5 hours,
Yeah, 3, 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Like we do a true, this is how it feels to be. And so you can learn about your stamina. Do I need to eat? Do I like talking to people or not? What is it like meeting somebody new? And the energy is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay. And I just wanted to
definitely.
share that because I realized I didn't say that at the beginning.
Yeah. And just having that time in the room with those auditors it gave me a lot of information that I then took and we used that and like worked
Right.
on it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But it was amazing. It allowed me to um just to see the progress and then be able to make adjustments so that I was putting everything that I could into the pieces. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, I think yours, it really did shock you into the next level.
Yeah.
Good. And that's, I think, a part of the philosophy of setting your stage. Like, it's not just me. I think teachers, the reason schools have like 15 teachers is because people learn differently, and you need to hear things five different ways sometimes. You need to see it different ways. I might be gentle, and you might need somebody that's crunchy.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody might be smooth and you might need inside of your chest. Not for
Yeah.
real, y'all. Okay, blessed. But you know what I mean? So that's a part of the community that is not just me coaching, but you have all of these different qualified people to give you the zhuzh.
Yeah.
So all right, amazing, amazing, Rashaunna, amazing, Rashaunna. So let's talk about kind of the final part of this. So I'm curious if you could go back So you've been through the whole process. Started in October, November-ish, went all the way to about April-ish. So this was a very long process. So
Yeah.
looking across this year's process, and then even as far back as 2020 when you started this go to college for acting journey,
Yeah.
what are some things that you would tell yourself that you learned? What are just some things you would share with yourself so that we can help somebody who's on this journey, who's about to do what you've done?
Yeah. So I think I think for me it was like if this is something that I really want to do, I need to invest in it. Um, just as much as I like will declare that yeah, it's that's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm trying to do it. But like are you putting the money where your mouth is, right? Because
A
it's
little commotion for the investment.
yeah, it's gonna cost you, but it's worthwhile, right? You will reap the benefits, you'll reap the harvest, right? And specifically for me, I'm just like delay is not denial,
That's so
right?
good. So
Just
good.
because it didn't happen this year doesn't mean it won't happen because like God hasn't brought me this far just to bring me this far,
Talk to the community.
right? And what is promised to me, no man can refuse,
Okay, there we are.
and it's having no matter like what people may say that and those that you may want the support from may not understand the path and the journey that you're on,
Mhm.
right? But that shouldn't deter you from pursuing it, right? And if you say you care about it as much as you care about it, then like F what they say, right? Like you have to live for
Yeah.
you and you have to do what you feel is necessary and pursue what you feel is your passions. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's so good, Rashawn. And I think you really freed up some people with that because I think there might be some people on the fence who are like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. Or maybe there's this really strong call on your heart, but we might be in a recession or I got to do this and that. But you're so right. You invest in the things. And I'm team, Rashawn knows, I'm team YOLO right
Yeah.
now. We really are only, if you believe in this, okay, right? But you really only live one time, and this is not a dress rehearsal. So the life you want to live, you have to live it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna come and pull you out of the computer chair and go, "Hey, you want to act?" Go. You have to live your own life for yourself. And like Rashauna said, even if maybe there's not family support or your bestie don't care, you have to do it for yourself. So that's so good, Rashauna. And the results are there
Yeah.
to prove that for you. So good. So let's put this out here for someone who thinks, oh, I don't need coaching, I'm gonna just try it. Or for someone who might be on the fence or who's like, oh, should I do setting your stage coaching? Convince them to do it. What would you say are the benefits, why they should do it? Talk to the people.
Yeah. I would say do it, do it, do it, right? Like you won't regret it, right? The the way that setting your stage invests in you as a student is bar none, right? Like you like trusting the process, like you will come out better and more informed at than you did when you came in, right? And so like if you want the best, you got to go where the best is.
Talk to them. Say it again, Rashawn.
If you want the best, you got to go where the best are. And
Okay.
that is setting your stage.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. And you know what? I know we're being funny and stuff and all of that, but truly, like my heart, Rashauna knows this, my students know this. I did this before. I went to the Juilliard school. I know how the process goes. I brought people into the community who have done this, and we really do care. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
just doing this to make a dollar and be like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I actually care about Rashauna. You do not care. We were talking on the phone for hours. That's
Yeah.
care. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to know, Rashauna, how was it? What's going on? Let's get in the thing. We recorded things. There is true, I think what separates setting your stage is first of all our pedigree. We got
Yes.
the Yale graduates, the Juilliard graduates. We have people who are in the industry. But it's really important to me as founder and CEO that y'all feel that I care. I care truly because I did this, I understand it. And it's such a vulnerable, like Rashaunna talked about at the very beginning of this interview, it is very vulnerable to do Black Mary. Okay?
Yeah.
It's vulnerable to get up in front of people who are judging you and open up your heart and your mind and your spirit. That's very vulnerable. And so if you don't have someone who is checking in with you, checking on you, with you every step of this journey, it can be very hard and taxing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for saying that, Rashaunna.
Yeah, I mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as the also this.
Oh, I
I learned that this is also a heart. I was like, what is that? But okay, so thank you, Rashaunna, for this amazing time together. We are now at the Setting Your Stage Spotlight series, spotlighting the results, which let me just say this too to the community. We're going for a thing. Not everybody will get these results. That doesn't mean we don't try. That doesn't mean we don't go for it. It means that we do our best and we let the chips fall where they may. And like Rashaunna said earlier, sometimes a year is about learning. Sometimes 1 year is about learning. Sometimes 1 year is about growth in yourself. So I just want to say to the community that these results are great because all of the things aligned. We had great coaching. Rashaunna was in a really beautiful space and she was ready to work. It was open, it was free, it was loose. So
Yes.
I just want everybody to know that this is really a culmination of a lot of work. Like you heard at the beginning of the interview, Rashaunna has been in process since 2020.
Yeah.
So we want to just congratulate and be excited as we spotlight your results for this year. So share with the community, what is this year looking like?
Yeah, so I was on an MFA auditioning track, and the results were amazing, right? Lots of callbacks. It's some of the top ones for me were NYU, Lambda, Columbia, RCS, and Drama Studio London.
Mhm.
And in the end, I have decided to attend
Drum roll.
The Royal Conservatory of Scotland.
Hey, I
Yeah.
feel like that one came out of
Left field, for
left
sure.
field. It was not on the thing, but oh my goodness. Just really quickly talk about your experience through that audition process because it was kind of magical coming out of that school, that process.
It was it was, I don't even know, the stars aligned on that one. That it
Yeah.
was from start to finish an amazing audition process with
Yeah.
them. I initially was I just took a acting workshop with them, and I was like, why not? Um, and then I was like, oh, they have an open spot for an audition. I really like the way that their two instructors, ran the workshop, and I was like, okay, I like this vibe. It's a good vibe I'm getting from them. So I was like, okay, let me sign up. The following day, did the audition. Amazing. It
Amazing.
was great.
That's
It
great.
lasted like 15 minutes. We sat, we talked, we laughed. It was good. Um, it didn't give the vibe of like, we're a prestigious school, prove yourself to us. It
Right.
was like, no, like we're here to just like see your pieces, have fun, and like play.
Collaborate. Yeah,
Yeah.
work. Mm-hmm.
And so I did the audition on a Saturday. By that Monday, I got the callback for the second round callbacks. That was for that you get like 2 weeks. You had to learn another monologue and a duologue. Did that. Um, then that following Monday, so did that on the second callback on a Saturday. On the Monday, found out the results for that, made it to the very final callback, which was the
Moving.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
So a very short turnaround. But luckily, they had only seen two of my pieces, so I still had my secondary pieces to show them.
Inspiration. Hello.
Yeah. And initially they said if you're in this first group of callbacks, you don't have to learn a new piece. You can do something that you've done before. But I was like, I have a new piece. I'm going to show you my new piece. Um, and I did a Shakespeare piece. I did my Isabella for Measure, which often I find a lot of people shy away from classical text because it is harder, but I do love classical text. So it,
Shout
yeah.
out to the classics.
Yeah. So I did that piece, then had a conversation with the president of the program, like the chair. She was the chair of the program. And we just talked, and it was a great process. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And
And yeah.
yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't interrupt you.
Oh, I think something that was really big for me
Uh-huh.
that I think really made me want to go to the school was during my second round callbacks, where I had to learn a new monologue. The adjustment they gave me, I ended up crying, right, during the piece. And I don't know. There was just something really freeing and open about that, and the fact that all of my callbacks with them were virtual,
Mm.
and the way that they were able to bring warmth and
Computer screen.
yeah, and create a safe space for me to even be able to, just with the adjustment and the energy in the space, to like cry, which that's just it was I was like, oh, see, now I have to get in because this
Because
like, how'd y'all do
in
that?
a way that is what is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And the adjustments they gave me, and the just working with them, and that collaboration, and seeing the like crack open that they were able to do with me in such a short amount of time, um was something that really impressed me. And so yeah,
I
at
love it.
that point I was like, okay, you got it, come on.
Community. I want
Yeah,
to be part of this. Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
definitely.
Congratulations, Rashaunna. What a
Thank
beautiful
you.
journey that we have been on. Any final words to the community, to anyone out there, just from your perspective, that you want to leave with anyone?
Come coach with setting your stage. They're amazing. They will get you the results you want.
Yay. Thank you, Rashaunna. All right, a little commotion for Rashaunna. Put your commotion
Yay.
fingers up. We appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And thank you all for those of you who stayed until the end. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, really appreciate you. If you have questions, put them down in the comments. Rashaunna has graciously opened up her heart space to answer questions. I also will be in the comments looking for you all too. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Rashaunna. We appreciate you so much. And
Thank you. I appreciate you.
yay, and blessings on the journey into the next phase of your acting career. I'm so proud
Yes.
of you.
Thank you. Thank you.